Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
What is up, nerds, and welcome back to the Carbonite Convos podcast. Today is episode 82, being recorded on Friday, October 11th. And not only are we midway through Andor, finished with She-Hulk, but we also got some awesome confirmation about a Star Wars fan favorite making his way over to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we appreciate you guys hopping in, and we're going to get right into this one today because it has been far too long, about a month since Alec and I have been able to hop on a podcast. We've been up with reactions, our Easter egg videos, all that stuff, but you know, life gets in the way. So we are back with episode 82.
Yeah,
Alec,
man. Disney Plus has kept us pretty busy lately.
Very.
A lot of stuff been coming out. It's kind of shitty because we're gonna go into a dead period after this is over. Not so much on the Star Wars side, but on the Marvel side. Now that She-Hulk's done, it's gonna be a little bit. Sometime spring 2023 is the next
Until we have reactions
for Marvel.
Yeah, I haven't even thought of that.
Yeah,
but
so it's gonna be a little bit.
On the other hand, it's nice because the waking up and staying up, for me, waking up that early and you staying up that late,
it's tough.
Twice a week, especially. That's tough.
Well, we have enough Star Wars stuff to keep us occupied for a little bit. Like we still have the second half of Andor. Tales of the Jedi is very soon. Is that November?
October 26th. That all comes out at one time, though.
That's sick, though. That's fine. Like we can. That's a lot of content that we've wanted for a long time.
Definitely.
That'll be sick. But yeah, man. So we're done with She-Hulk. We got some big news. Other than that, what else? What else is new? And we'll get into that stuff here shortly. But like, what's up, man? We haven't even had time to like.
Well, I know we used to talk
or FaceTime and stuff.
We used to talk daily. And we still do, but it's like
exactly. It's like, hey man, so I'm at work. I got like 2 minutes. What's up? Like
that ass. I just want to say fuck you. See you, bro.
Yeah, just calling.
Nothing much, man. No new crazy pops. I know you got one today.
I got Spider-Man 2099. You can kind of see it right here.
Yeah. While he does that, we got to plug the new Instagram. We created an Instagram for our collections at Carbonite Collecting. So I know we do a lot of pop videos and Funko and collectible announcements, stuff like that here on YouTube. So if you want to stay up to date with that stuff, more so on a daily basis, check us out on Instagram at Carbonite Collecting.
I'm excited for that, man. A girl and I were talking about. I mean, what kind of even got us into this in the first place? Like, you know, this leads to this, and this leads to this. Is pictures of pops, bro. Like during quarantine and all that, like we were doing some really cool pictures of pops, like with the sceneries and backgrounds. It was like photography, and I'd love to be able to get back into that, man. That was super fun.
I remember visiting you in 2018 that was when we went to a pop show. Mm-hmm. That was when I had the account where I posted Star Wars pictures, but it was just BS pictures from online. And at that point, that might have changed our lives as we know it, because that's when Funko Stud was born. And I changed the name. Stud. Yeah, I changed the name, and it was pictures of all nerdiness, Comic-Cons, Funko Pops, all that stuff. And I was at your house out in Arizona, and now, 4 years later, look where we're at.
Here we are.
It's exciting.
I remember on that trip when you came out, bro, we went to that pop show and you had to borrow a suitcase
to bring them back.
To bring them home.
Yep. I'm trying to think if I have gotten any new pops before we really get into this, but I can't really think of too many.
I gotta show this off. I made a cool little custom, man, of me. Stan Wilson played for the Seattle Mariners. And I took it and kind of thought it looked like me, so rolled with that, made a little custom, and turned out pretty cool.
As people know, I actually work in Major League Baseball, but I guess one thing that's pretty cool is the Colorado Rockies, for their Star Wars night, they gave away this Mandalorian koozie. And here, I'll show it like this. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. This is not a comfortable koozie. No. It has a square bottom. It's so awkward. So what I did, I was like, my ingenious brain, I put some tape over the bottom. I made a nice little pen holder. So now I thought it was pretty cool. It's foamy.
Yeah.
So I just have this nice little pen holder. It used to be at my desk at work, but now It's just chilling here. So I think it fits the desk pretty nicely. So that's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much the
man.
only thing that I'm going to plug for right now.
Hell yeah.
What do you
So
want to talk about first? You want to talk about this news?
let's get into the news first, since that's technically the freshest.
Yes. So our main man, Han Solo, Indiana Jones, is joining the MCU as Thaddeus Ross, Red Hulk. It's freaking awesome. It's
my
been rumored for a couple weeks now.
it is
And now it's confirmed.
it is a little sad that he is a replacement. Um, However, I am very much looking forward to it. My question is, will he enjoy playing the character? It
Let's
pisses me
hope.
off every single time I hear him talk about Han Solo.
Yeah, because you
Right?
can tell he doesn't love
He
it.
doesn't love it. He loves Indiana Jones.
You see
That's
how emotional and how happy he is talking about Indiana Jones. And I have to think that he doesn't enjoy Han Solo because, let's face it, we're all nerds. We really are.
yeah.
And if I saw Harrison Ford in public,
I would
I'd have to
immediately
think
consider
Han
him Han
Solo.
Solo. Yeah.
And I'd have to say, like, yo, I'm a big Star Wars fan. You're Han Solo. Like, just
Sure.
wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I
Thank
get
you.
that.
Get an autograph. And so I'm sure, he was one of the first.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that he kind of has a
Rubbed him the
negative
wrong
light
way.
on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes me a little nervous because it's kind of a lot of the same fandoms, right? The same people
Yeah.
are in fandom for the respectively.
It's not as
It
beloved
makes
though.
me
I'm talking about the
nervous for it.
character.
Right. Like,
He's playing Red Hulk.
I
Like
think he'll do a
that's
great job, and I think it's gonna be awesome seeing Han Solo Hulkified, just
yeah.
huge and red and like angry.
Let's think of it this way. He's kind of a dick too.
Yeah, he
And
is.
Agent Ross, he's a douchebag.
Mhm.
So I think it's going to be pretty cool because I don't think it's going to be that difficult for him to change. Like I think he'll play a kind of a harder character well. And going from Han Solo, beloved character, for 50 years.
Mhm.
It's Red Hulk. He's never been in a movie. He's been in the comics. If you're a big Marvel fan, there's a Red Hulk, but there's no
Right.
crazy attachment that people have. So will people bother him about it? Of course, but
Will it be as drastic?
yeah, I don't think so.
My immediate thoughts as well is that this character, Thaddeus Ross, might be more relevant or I'm sorry, prevalent going forward
He
than
will.
originally planned. To hire this big of an actor, bro, it's got to be important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second, in She-Hulk in the finale, which we'll get into here in a second, she mentioned for the movie, right? Like, dude,
Yeah.
so that's
Not
gonna be
only
big.
that,
But what my main concern is the fact that if you're casting this big of a person, okay, and with the Sokovia Accords being lifted, they're gonna have to address that somehow, and that's gonna be a huge part of whatever direction they're going with the whole Hulk storyline.
yeah, because Ross was the main
Right.
person behind the Accords, and we found out in She-Hulk that the Accords have been repealed. So
Thanks to old Matt Murdock.
That's
He
huge.
let us know that.
Yeah, so that's huge. But not only does she mention movie in the finale, but she also name drops Red Hulk in episode 8.
Is this like another
So
twist with this one's red?
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Like I'm excited for him to play Red Hulk for sure. I think he'll play the role very well, and I hope that it's a big one.
I do too, man. And his tone of voice and everything like that, it's a great fit. So
Yeah,
I want to know how much they're paying him.
I know it's got to be a
It's
fat.
got to be a fat check.
Yeah, it's got to be. But you got to think too. He's not doing a crazy action stuff because anything where he hulks out is going to be CGI,
right?
And they'll do a different actor for that. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Do you want to get into She-Hulk next and then finish off with Andor?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Overall, bro, I'd say pleased with the show. I'm about where my expectations were, I think, after everything. So I'm overall happy with it. I really did think the finale saved it, in my opinion.
I think the last 2 episodes saved it.
Yes, absolutely. It was going in such an interesting direction that, when I say interesting, like questionable direction.
Yeah, I think when you say interesting, you subtly mean not interesting.
Yeah, and I was just, questioning that decision. However, I really like how much control they gave her, because going forward, especially with Deadpool's tie-in and this cross multimedia universe they're creating, they are gonna have to bridge the gap between them somehow, right?
When between like X-Men and MCU,
All,
is that what
all,
you mean?
all of that. So like,
Okay.
what I could see this end up being is the X-Men universe, the Raimi universe, the MCU, right? They're all different entities. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they exist in different universes. Yes, Doctor Strange can like jump between them. America Chavez can too. But for someone to physically just leave the dimension, like how Jen did through the Disney Plus app,
Yeah.
right? That to me, I think would do an awesome job, or be a really cool setup to be able to tie in these other film universes where she literally can leave or bring people in to the MCU. You get what I'm saying?
I do. I think the problem that creates is what gives her that power to do that, to where she can look into the camera, open up the Disney Plus panes, and just
Kevin.
go in there. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I just love that it was just such a dig at Feige.
Yeah, but I think it was a funny.
It was
dig,
a funny dig. It wasn't saying like screw this guy. It was saying like,
yeah,
oh, it's
he
like
has ultimate control. Yeah,
he has ultimate control. But it's kind of like the same way people think about like Elon Musk, right? Like, oh, this
yeah,
dude's got to be a robot, man. Like,
or
same concept.
Zuckerberg.
Or Zuckerberg, exactly.
Yeah. Going back to what you said, I think it's a very good point, where you have these separate universes, and there's only a select people who can jump through them. I, for one, I liked the fourth wall breaking in some aspects. In other aspects, it seemed very forced. And maybe I think that because it's something that I'm not super used to. And, if you watched our reactions, I was critical about the show for a good bit, but I also at the entire time I said, but I'm going to wait until it's over. So overall, I don't think I was pleased. Like, I think I was more upset for more of the episodes than I was satisfied. When you talk about it's about what you expected. I think you're right, but I'm gonna take it a little further. I didn't expect too much out of it at the forefront.
Sure.
However, after episode 1, I expected a lot. I was like, wow, I thought that was a very good premiere. I was like, I really enjoy this. There are a few different storylines that we're going into here. Let's do this. And then it just got so off track. And like she said in the finale, she was like, why are all these storylines coming together? This doesn't make sense. And I look back, a lot of the stuff didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember what is it, Wrecking Crew?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought they were going to be a lot more prevalent, but
and then he's working at the farm. Like,
yeah, then he's working at the farm. It all came down. What were the group of people called again?
Which ones?
The big group, the online.
Oh, the Hulk.
The Hulk King.
Intelligentsia.
Intelligentsia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all came down to that. Thought it was a little anticlimactic, but I do think it's going to lead to a lot of good stuff for the Hulkverse. So overall, yeah, I'm satisfied, but I think after the premiere episode, it went downhill quick.
Well,
and then what
to add
saved
to
it was
that,
8 and 9.
To 100%, but to add to the questionable, like the direction they went, it was a combination of a fantastic premiere and their questionable decisions on marketing.
Yeah, I didn't.
At the same time,
about that.
But it set it up to be something that it wasn't, right? And after seeing the finale, I understand that decision now.
I do. I just think the marketing was too. I think how she insults the watcher a little bit. Like, oh, we're gonna do this really inconvenient wedding episode. They know that people already through no fault of Marvel's, people having a female superhero, some people aren't going to like that. Are we on that list? No, not at all. We went into it, with mild expectations because, we didn't know the character. We don't know the character's background too much into the comics. So we're like, all right, I don't really know what to expect. So I'm not going to make my expectations that high. But you're automatically starting out with a subset of people who aren't going to like it because it's a female lead. There's nothing you can do about those
and
people.
I think that's the whole point of the story and
yes.
the marketing behind the show. It's literally the villains is that exact same audience, right?
Exactly. But it's also like kind of, I'm sitting there as a man watching the show, hearing the digs. Like, I believe it. Not all men are shit, but also not all men are great. So, I 100% that there's a much different struggle.
There are people that say these things. There are people out there that believe those things, say these things, but it is not as big of an audience as the show made it seem like.
Exactly. And 95% of the males in this show were assholes.
Yeah.
They really, aside from Hulk, Wong, pretty much every
Pug, goat Pug.
Every new character except Pug was a douche. And I was just like, okay, obviously we're not meant to like these characters, but they threw that stuff in your face too much. And then the marketing threw it in your face even more.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't a fan of, because as someone who's just trying to enjoy the show, you don't need all these digs, especially with how diversified they're trying to make the MCU, as they should. Don't start shitting on, a group that I feel like has loved it for a long time as well, and it was just a little disheartening to see every new character was just a piece of shit. And I don't know, some of it just wasn't believable, which I think the biggest things in Marvel, the most enjoyable ones are the ones you can relate to and you can really like. And on the flip side, maybe there are women that did relate to her and they see
I'm
that.
sure there 100% has to be.
Yeah. And that's, I feel bad that people can relate to her because
it's a problem.
There's so much shitty men in her life. Like that sucks. So, in a way, if they relate to the empowerment aspect, great. But if they relate to her struggles, that sucks. And you don't want anybody to feel like that. But the struggle was part of the show, and I get that. And her overcoming that was also a big part as well, which, the episode of her on the farm, while at first it didn't make sense, her coming to the realization that she needs to live with She-Hulk and know that Jen is her equal, that was a big step for her. And it was satisfying to see it.
Plus, we got to meet Man-Bull.
Man-Bull, yes, exactly. Man-Bull. All right, never mind. I misspoke. Not all men were shit. The non-powerful,
everyone she ran into through work and the dating life were terrible.
Yes. Anybody who didn't have superpowers, were shit.
Or Pug.
And Pug. Pug was cool.
Pug is a homie. I'd hang with Pug.
Awesome shoe collection.
Oh yeah, Iron Man 3s.
Yeah, but overall, I think it was and you said it was its downfall. It was a crazy finale, and then followed by not so great marketing, which I didn't like the marketing. I liked how we saw Daredevil in the trailer. I didn't like all the footage we were getting of him, but I feel like they needed to do that because they know people aren't interested. So for
it keeps him locked in. Yeah. Like, okay, he's going to be in this eventually.
Yeah. 3 weeks before he's in it, they're promoting Daredevil like he's in it that night. So each night you and I are going into the episode like,
Daredevil
tonight. And then at the end, all right, well, no Daredevil, but
next week.
Yeah. And then finally, episode 8, I liked his role. I liked the finale.
How do you feel about Hulk's son?
I don't know anything about him in the MCU.
I liked how they briefed it, and when She-Hulk was talking to Kevin. Kevin.
Yeah.
No, that's not Kevin. He made a big deal that his name was Kevin.
But they all called him Kevin.
Yeah, but he didn't like that. I'm just fucking.
What were you saying?
I'm just kidding. Anyways, where was I going with this? I forget.
Scar.
Oh, with Scar. I like that they mentioned, he was gonna explain what he was doing on Sakaar. Where
Yeah.
Kevin dropped it in the background. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Well, are we just
Yeah,
not gonna know about it
exactly.
now? Thank God they still dropped Scar at the
Yeah.
end and set up. It's like some shit went down on Sakaar. What I
Yeah.
want to know is exactly how long he was on there, bro, because he's been back from Sakaar for what, no, it's been like 10 years now, huh?
Who?
Hulk.
Banner? No, bro.
Well, they're how many
It's
years ahead of us now
it's 2023.
in the MCU? So just 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're 2023. He came back in 2018.
Okay,
I
so
believe. Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah. 2017
So
or
if he's
2018.
only 5 years, how long was Scar born ago? Because like time works differently there. So
But also,
I'm
yeah,
trying
that
to
could
wrap my
also
head
be the
around
case.
how long he physically spent on Sakaar.
Hulk or Scar?
Hulk, both.
Spent on Scar when? Because we on Sakaar when? Because we know how long he was there.
Originally, the first time.
Yes, he was there for 2 years.
Was it 2 years? Yeah,
Was.
but in Sakaar time, like that's what I'm asking.
Oh,
We don't
okay.
know that
I don't
answer.
know if we'll ever know how. That's like, how does time work in the quantum realm? We don't really know. So I don't know. I did think he had an interesting haircut, and then it was funny because people pointed out, yo, remember who the barber is on Sakaar? And it's Stan Lee. Remember, because he's the one that cut Thor's hair.
Yeah.
So I saw that. I was like, all right, that's funny.
Hell
I
yeah.
doubt he cut his hair, but it was something like, when I saw him, his hair really stuck out to me. I was like, oh wow, that's an interesting look.
He looked like a
And then
teenage Hulk. Like it was like
he did.
awkward. He was kind of awkwardly shaped. You know what I'm
He
saying?
did. Yep. And then seeing Stanley, I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. That's cool. I don't have a ton more about She-Hulk, but I do think we should talk a little bit more in depth about the whole Kevin thing
Yeah.
and that entire fourth wall break, because they mentioned a few key things. One, I thought it was super cool how when Kevin asked her not to change into She-Hulk on camera because it costs too much money, he says, our visual effects team has moved on to a different project, and then they play the Black Panther song
That was
music.
sick, dude.
That was sick. The what
Mm-hmm.
with the whatever it is, like that was awesome.
That
So
was
right there,
100%,
that
bro.
was really cool.
That was like just a subtle little like, hey, get hyped for this. Like
Get ready
we're
for
only
Black Panther.
we're not that far out, bro.
No,
A
we're
month,
a month.
6 weeks.
What day does it come out,
November 11th.
bro? We're
Less
than a month. It's
yeah.
October 14th.
Wow.
So, dude, I'm 11/11. My dad's gonna be here for that.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna be able to see it. I'm ready for that film. But to stay on She-Hulk,
I'm not ready for that film.
I am. No, I get it. I get it. She name drops X-Men.
I know, bro.
That's huge. With Miss Marvel introducing the mutant gene in the MCU, I think that's huge. Deadpool coming into the MCU, number 2. Teaming up with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, number 3,
bro.
And now the X-Men, not mutants, the X-Men have been name dropped into the MCU. Well, not technically in the MCU, because technically she was in our world.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's not. Maybe it's our world. There's the Disney Plus world inside, and then there's the MCU, because we'll never know how, because like, let's face it. It
doesn't make sense how it worked.
No, there's no robot, as far as we know, there's no robot Kevin that's doing all this. So, She-Hulk wasn't in our world. She was in that, but I don't know. It was super confusing, and you'll just confuse yourself more if you try to explain it, because it's inexplainable.
My question is, what the hell were the security guards gonna do when she was trying to go talk to Kevin? And she just beat their ass like nothing.
Yeah. That's She-Hulk.
And it was why you stop? Just go ahead. Yep. Don't hurt anybody. Just go. You're going anyways.
I'll save the visual effects team some money.
Exactly.
Just walk. Yeah, no, that was cool. That was cool. And I think finally, at least what stuck out in the whole Kevin thing was, first he said, save it for the movie, which that was cool. But then they kind of slapped us in the face where she said a few minutes later, she's like, am I getting my own movie? Which I don't think She-Hulk's getting her own movie.
No, she will be in the movie.
She will. She was like, am I getting a movie?
Well,
like, yes.
it's her show. It's her show though. Like, so like,
I know.
That's going to be the thing.
She says, am I getting a movie? Yeah. Really? No. So I thought that was funny.
I like that too.
But, I thought it was cool hearing about a Hulk movie because Planet Hulk has been rumored for a good bit now.
It's
and happening. I think we're long overdue for some good Hulk action.
Bro, we were long overdue 2 years ago, man.
Yeah.
When freaking Endgame came out. We were overdue then. So we're extremely overdue now. Overdue doesn't even put it in the justice.
It's going to be hype. But that's all I have on She-Hulk. I thought
that's about the gist of it, man. Like, it wasn't anything like outside of the last few minutes, like anything like mind blowing, like crazy. Just a cool story introducing Jen, who I at the end of the day, I really like Jen. I like She-Hulk. I think they're both cool characters, and I'm excited to see them both going.
Who do you like better? I know that was kind of the struggle of her and herself, but who do you like better, Jen or She-Hulk?
Well, I mean, She-Hulk, obviously.
Gotta say She-Hulk.
Yeah, like obviously, like Jen's cool.
Yeah.
Like Jen's super nice person. Nothing against her, but I'd rather have She-Hulk because she's a Hulk.
I'd rather watch a She-Hulk show than a Jen show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. Are we moving on to Andor?
Yeah,
we're 6 episodes deep. And really quick, I'm gonna pull up the cast because I have not memorized the characters' names.
Dog.
So I don't know. What are some initial thoughts at this point?
So halfway through the season, a quarter of the way through the story in general, I am very happy with it so far. I think it's very quality. I think some of the aspects that I was excited about going into it have matched that level that I've liked, as far as like the visual effects and the storytelling and the props and the backgrounds, those sort of things. But aside from that, I like the new characters we're getting. I like the storyline. I like seeing Cassian before he was a hero, you know, and see how because to me, it seems like that conscious that leads him to doing the things that therefore end up saving the world and the galaxy. He doesn't quite have those yet. Like, yes, they're in there and they're deep, but they haven't been brought to the light yet or had to be used yet. So I think what we've seen so far is the very seedlings of those characteristics, and obviously by the end of the series, we'll get those.
No, I 100% agree. At this point, I am fully satisfied. Going into it, it's weird. Before that 9-minute clip came out, the Disney Plus Day exclusive, I was happy about it. I was like, cool, we're getting another, prequel-ish story that precedes A New Hope. I was like, I'll like this. And then when that clip came out of him talking to Luthen Rail about, do you want to be part of something real? That's where I realized, like, man, we're truly going to see the start of the rebellion.
This shit's going to be deep.
And we just finished the first true mission of the rebellion. And I spoke about this a little bit in our reactions. We got the heist announcement in episode 4. We led up to it in episode 5. And I thought we were going to see it in episode 5. And then it didn't happen in episode 5 and it went into episode 6. So between 5 and 6, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, is this moving at I truly enjoy it. But how long are we going to spend on this heist? And then I kind of thought, it's not a show that's good, that it's going to be it is chronological, but it's not going to be a ton of time spent in 1 year. It's going to be big time jumps. So we're going to spend a couple episodes on this story, and it might only be a few days. Then we're going to jump ahead a year or two, and we're going to have another key moment for the rebellion. I think this first one, and this is what I realized, I was like, if that's how the time jumps are going to go, I would like to see the ins and outs on the first and arguably one of the most vital points in the rebellion. This is their first mission. If it fails, Who knows if it continues? Who
Right.
knows? And I think that's why at the end of episode 6, when Luthen Rael's character goes into the back of his shop with all of those relics, when he hears of what went down on Aldhani with this heist, he just looks up and starts laughing out of joy. He's so happy. He's like, holy shit, we succeeded. And now we're going to continue to build, and this rebellion is going to make it. So I don't know, man. I'm 100% invested in this show.
I mean, dude, the way you put that, I mean, it makes it beautiful, right? Like, it's at its root, it's what Star Wars is about, right? Because if you say it all the time, this leads up to the original Star Wars. It leads up to Star Wars 100%. At the root, George Lucas said it, and we've said it on here a dozen times. We're at the end of the day, Star Wars is about hope, faith, and family, right? Okay. We are literally seeing the birth of what creates those things and what leads to those things being possible. I just find it so interesting that people are loving this character, myself included, because Cassian's awesome, right? But typically, people like the main guy, right? Luke, like for instance, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, the main heroes, right? But who is Cassian Andor? Before he was put on the big screen, in the storyline, right, in the lore, Cassian Andor was just one rebel that died in the line of duty that on an important mission. We would have never known that name.
Yeah.
But now, because his story is put up there, and we see the sacrifice that he makes, we see the type of person he is, and we see that he embodies the rebellion, right? He is what the rebellion is about. I think that's why, for a small tier character, and I put that in quotations because obviously he's fantastic. For a small tier character, he's easily one of the better ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. Because at the end of the day, he's not a Jedi. He's not a Sith. He's a rebel.
He's nobody.
That's it.
He's nobody.
He's just a background character. If you don't dive into his story, and even if you don't dive into Rogue One, like if you don't dive into it, not that he's irrelevant, but it's like those, like the X-Wing pilots and I don't know, just the engineers that you see in the background. They're the extra people that you don't even know their names. Like they might have done some very heroic things. Like you said, they're nobody. Like they're not Luke Skywalker. They're not our main heroes, and they made him one.
What was the two rebel pilots that came in during Kenobi and like got them out of there, and the one of them got shot down?
I don't know.
You remember what I'm talking about? His name was like Josh or something. I don't remember the name.
Tim.
Was it Tim?
It was Tim.
It was Tim.
Timm.
He's like, Tim, no. And like, we're like, who the hell is Tim? And obviously everyone's upset. That could have been Andor, bro. That person,
don't even remember his name. It is Tim, but we had to think about it. It's like, shit, what was that dude's name?
Tim was probably awesome and did so many heroic things, and he died in a heroic way. But no one will ever remember his name because he wasn't put into the light. But Cassian Andor is, and we get to see his story.
I think we're seeing Cassian's story because he had such a vital part in the rebellion. You know, if Cassian isn't on that mission, they probably fail.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, they probably fail. But overall, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it 100%. One thing I saw today, when K2SO died, one of his last words were climb, because remember, they're climbing to the top. They're like, how do we get out of here? We have the Death Star plans. Right. How do we get out? And he's telling them to climb. And someone pointed out, Karis Nemec, the nerdier guy, you know, the younger one, who looks like he'd be a data analyst. Like, you know, he's a little nerdier guy, but he knows so much, and he has such an eloquent way of speaking. His final word was climb, because he dove down and then he climbed. when they were in the ship.
Oh,
Remember? Or opposite. So one of his last words was climb, which it's nothing crazy, but just
the correlation there.
Yeah, that's how they had to get out of it. Is
Dude, that death was sad, bro.
That was when the doctor said we did everything. I did everything I could. I honestly thought he was going to make it. I did. And then
I thought he was going to lose his legs or something.
I did
he had,
too.
like bionic legs or something.
Or like I'm sorry, my phone is ringing. I was pretty upset. I was very upset because I really dug his character. And I did think he was going to make it. I thought he'd be like almost like Klieg Lars, where he had that hovering chair. So he can't go on the missions, but he can get you all the info necessary.
The guy in the chair.
Yeah, exactly. The guy in the chair. And I think just the things he said came to fruition so cleanly, because when they were talking about that event, he said, it's beautiful. Paraphrasing, it's beautiful from the ground, but it's chaos in the sky. And they mirror those shots, because you go from a shot of everybody on the ground watching this beautiful meteor shower. You go from the ground where everybody's just staring up in awe. It's beautiful. And then you pan to you pan to a shot in the air where they're just flying. Shit's just zooming by, cracking the window. You got TIE fighters shooting at you. Then you go back down. It's very calm. Everybody's enjoying it. Then right back up to the sky. It's chaos. So I think he was awesome.
Yeah, man.
He was awesome.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. I think one other thing he said that really stuck out was he was talking about the Empire. And again, I'm very paraphrasing this, but he was pretty much saying it happens so fast that you don't even realize what you've lost, because they're not, you can't hide one atrocity, but when you're doing 40, it becomes normal.
Right.
So he's like, our freedoms are being taken away from us so swiftly that we don't even know what we're losing. And that's why he is fighting. That's why they're fighting. Which I'm in.
That's nuts, dude. God, it's just pure good character and writing, bro. It's just good.
It is. And if someone is like kind of not interested in Andor and kind of like maybe not so much bad mouthing it, and you haven't watched it, I judge. I try not to judge in my life. I don't do well at it a lot, but I try not to. But I am judging these people because it's like, man, like, especially if you've been a Star Wars fan for a long time. I told Rosemary, my girlfriend, I told her, I was like, I don't think you'd like Andor. You know, you might like the lightsaber battles and stuff like that, but she only watches Star Wars now because I got her into it. I don't think she would really like Andor because it's not one of those heavy action.
It's a lot of talking.
Yeah, it's a lot of talking, but it's making you understand the universe and the galaxy so much more, and it puts in perspective how good the rebellion is and how truly evil the Empire is. Right. And it gives you a different look at Star Wars that you might not have gotten before. And for her, she might not need that new look. Star Wars to her, it is what it is. It's a cool movie and series that my boyfriend likes that we're going to watch. But to me, it's a lot more. And seeing it from this different angle is incredible to me.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to see how far into the future we jump and like what's the next storyline, because what's the main leader girl? I don't remember
Mon Mothma.
Not Mon Mothma.
Oh,
that went on the mission.
Oh, that was on the mission. Mm-hmm. She was Vel.
Okay. Yeah. With Vel being one of the only ones that survived, their relationship is not over. Right? I think they'll meet again. As well as
they haven't even parted yet though.
True. Yeah. He walked out though. She was still inside. I imagine he bounced.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I was remembering
he killed the dude and then bounced. Like that's what
he had to. Well, he didn't have to, but like that was an interesting choice. Interesting. Which I told you that was Arvel Skeen.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bad feeling about him from the start. And I think he was written in a way where you are supposed to question him because he was
right.
Yeah, and I said it a lot. And then, I was almost like, man, am I judging this guy just because he's kind of shady? Like,
Well,
man,
you should.
maybe I should give this character a chance. And then he wants to take it all for himself.
Called it.
40 million credits. I was like, I mean, that's a lot of credits. But still, I don't know. It was almost relieving to hear that my questions about him, were right.
Trust your gut, man.
This is off topic. Have we ever determined the value of a credit? Not us, but in our planet Earth, the reality we're in, has anybody done the math? Like looked at, okay, Watto's asking for 20,000 credits for this part of a spaceship. This dude, they just stole 80 million credits. Has someone, and I'm sure they has someone sat down and calculated what exactly is a credit worth? Is that a quarter for us? Is that $1?
About $1.50.
I'm curious because I don't know. It's something that you don't need to know, but it would be very interesting to know.
I mean, I think it's safe to assume it's 1-to-1, maybe.
I would assume pretty close. Maybe it's a peso. You never know. What else do you have about Andor? I'm ready to see Homegirl again. What is her name? Hold up just a sec.
Mothma?
No, Bix. We haven't seen her in a
Bubba
bit.
Bix.
Bubba Bix.
And the droid. I like that droid.
Yeah. It's also, he was marketed pretty heavily. So I'm ready to see him again.
Everything, so.
Yeah, so I think he'll pop up.
Speaking of pops, I pre-ordered that Amazon exclusive Glow She-Hulk.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why Glow? I don't know.
I was wondering the same thing, but I said, you know what? If I'm gonna end up getting the common anyways, I might as well get the one that glows.
How much was it?
I don't know, $12.
Cool.
Like typical Amazon price.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm thinking about going back to Target and copying that convention exclusive Andor.
Are there multiple there?
Yeah, bro. I've seen them at many Targets.
If you go, snag me one.
Okay. I'm not even gonna send you a picture. I'm gonna snag you and say, hey bro, you owe me $14.
Just let me know if you go.
I will. Yeah, I get there. I'm gonna say, like, yo, you still want this? You know what, man? I'm good. So I know you're not gonna get it.
Yeah, I still need it, man. I
Bro,
had Andor from Rogue One.
Dude, that's how I know you, man. Like, I knew you didn't. Like, I knew that. And
I want it. I just don't have space for it right now, dog.
See, what I'm eventually planning is I'd like to get like a Kenobi type of, well, one, they got to come out with more fucking, I'm sorry, but, excuse my language, but more
no, it's Kenobi. Valid. It is appropriate for what we're talking about right now.
They got to come out with more pops from Kenobi because I would like pops from that series.
The fact there's no came out with were freaking shit. Lightsabers, bro, that's bullshit.
Yeah, it was crap.
I do have to,
especially with how bright they glowed. Like, they were the most intense lightsabers ever.
So decent job. This dude, I did this in 2 fucking seconds. I got the common Reva and just made my own lightsabers.
That's dope. Put it closer to the camera.
They're okay.
No,
like, they're a little chunky, but like
that's dope.
Not bad, right? Like,
no, it's sick. How'd you make it connect?
I glued them on.
Glue?
Yeah, just glued it.
Dude, it's straighter than any other lightsaber on Funko Pops.
Yeah, it's on there.
Dude, that's sick. I like it. I've seen it before, but it is.
I know when I texted
really cool.
it to you, you called me a fraud.
Yeah,
asshole.
That's how I am, though.
Yeah, you're a dick. Yeah, bro. The fact there's no lightsabers underneath the pops is bullshit.
I know.
The fact we don't have the fact that like we didn't get a scene of Kenobi and Vader fighting.
I think
that would have been a perfect Smuggler's Bounty opportunity.
They're not doing Smuggler's Bounty though.
I know.
I know. Would have been. I got the email. I was signed up until last week for this Smuggler's Bounty. I got the email. We're sorry, but you've been canceled.
I don't know why that opened up.
Yeah, it makes me hopeful. It really does.
Maybe they were thinking about it.
It makes me hopeful that it was a big mistake. It was a mistake. I think it's something that's being planned. and I don't know, maybe someone pressed the eject but the green button too soon by accident. They saw freaking 10,000 people sign up. They're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, I'd like to have a Kenobi section. And the closer we get to A New Hope, the closer, because right now the way my pops are set up, it's pretty simple. It's prequel, sequel. No, I'm sorry. Prequel, original, sequel, and then some other stuff here and there. The way Star Wars is going, it's going to be a little bit harder because it's going to start meshing so much more.
Yeah, it is 100%. Like, for instance, I have two Fennec Shans, and each of them are with different things. Like, I have one Fennec with Bad Batch, and I have one Fennec with Boba.
You have two Fennecs. That's shocking.
One of them
it's the scene.
So yeah, with Boba, and then I put the other one with Bad Batch and Omega.
Yeah, I like it.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
No, I think it's a dope setup. It's just you of all people with your Fennecs. Star Wars pops.
I know. Well, I bought the Fennec because I bought Fennec first. I was on sale at Target. I was like, oh, I'll snag. It was like $6. I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
And then like 2 or 3 weeks later on Amazon, the scene was on sale for like $12. I was like, that shit's cool. I need that. Like,
yeah.
And so I was like, I snagged it. Especially because we got the pictures with it at Disneyland.
Yeah, I know.
That was sick.
I know.
That was partially part of the reason. I was like, yeah, bro, I gotta get this.
Dude, it would almost, what if you, I mean, it wouldn't be that difficult. You make another one, you find a girl that looks like Kennedy, a pop that looks like Kennedy, you take the head off, put her on, you find a pop that looks like you.
Switcherooski.
Yeah, make that scene. It'd almost be cool, like, you buy a little tiny shelf, 8 inches wide. You know what that looks like, right?
Like kind of like these.
I was just making a joke.
Oh.
You get a shelf. It's like 8 inches wide. You have like maybe a nice picture. That picture we took. You have the picture framed, and then you have the cool little pop of it right next to it.
A cool little gift.
Dude, I was just thinking that.
Baby, if you're listening,
dibs.
No, you're not.
They don't listen. They don't listen to our podcast. They don't listen.
No way.
That's okay. It's okay. I wouldn't expect them to.
I don't blame them. We kind of suck, man.
I agree. Do you have anything else on Andor though?
Nah, dude. I think. Do you think on the next episode Tuesday? So Tuesday, are we gonna get a time jump, or are we gonna get a wrap up of the scene? Like, because I could see it being something that they get figured out like a year later or something like that, where he bounces and like goes into hiding for a long time.
I think it's gonna be a time jump. We're gonna jump right into it. And it's going to be, because if you notice at the beginning of, all right, let's break this down mathematically. The first one is the first episode is 5 BBY. So you spend 4 episodes in 5 BBY. You spend another 4 episodes in 4 BBY. That's the whole, 6 episodes. 6 episodes.
Right,
my bad.
Right. Well, because the first one was the first.
And this math might be a little, like, might not explain it totally, to the exact episode, but spend 6 episodes in 5 BBY, 6 episodes in 4 BBY, 6 episodes in 3 BBY, and then maybe all right. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack one more time. 6 episodes because you need to see more of how it starts, right?
Yeah.
6
just
in
like
BBY.
Just like with anything else.
6 and 5 BBY, maybe 3 and 4 BBY, and 3 and 3 BBY. That ends out the first season. And then you go to season 2. Maybe you have 4 and 2 BBY, 1 and 4 episodes in 1 BBY. And then the next 4 episodes or so are literally right before Rogue One.
Bro,
I think that's a decent breakdown.
I think that's a decent breakdown too. And what I really like about it is they're gonna have to lead right up to Rogue One. It makes too much sense not only for the storyline, but with the success that I believe came from them leading right into A New Hope. How freaking cool would it be when you're watching through the Star Wars timeline
Yeah.
Prequels, so like blah 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 blah.
You think of where we first
Andor, Rogue One, boom, original trilogy, all of it completely in line.
You think of where we first met Cassian. We saw him murder a guy. We've known him for about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And now he needs to escape. He kills a fellow rebel to get out. What were they doing there? What was so like? Obviously, it was finding finding Saw Gerrera, I believe, if I'm remembering it correctly. But they were gathering information. Like, I feel like you could easily lead up to that.
100%. And we haven't even seen Saw Gerrera yet. So,
and we're gonna this season.
Yes,
we're going to. It's gonna be awesome.
It's nuts, dude.
We're gonna see some of his extremist ways, which I'm excited for. We're going to see, we still have clone troopers to see. There's a lot that's left to see this season.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. I don't know, man, but that's pretty much all I have, man. I think this was an awesome chat.
This got me a little bit more excited than I already was.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was good to hop on a pod again soon too. It's been
a minute, bro. Like, again, man, we're just, shit happens, but
busy.
We definitely are setting back on track as far as our filming schedule. Definitely need to.
I mean, I wouldn't promise that to people. Like, I don't think we're gonna make it week by week,
not week by week, but like making it more relevant again.
Like maybe every other week. Yeah, for sure. It was nice to take a good break. We still had all of our other stuff coming out, and by the time this video, I've been getting my days mixed up like hell. I was thinking, we're back to our pop concept list, which that made me think of the next one coming out, which was today. So you guys can feel free to check out our MCU Phase 3 poster collab of Funko Pop concepts. So definitely go check that out. So we've been still doing all these things, and it's given us, taking a step away from the pod has given us a little more time to do these other things, bolster those up, and then just have this in the background and do it when we can. And it's fun when we do them.
Oh yeah.
Fun. But that's all I have, man, unless you have anything else.
I'm also good, my friend.
Good deal. Well, everybody, nerds, we really appreciate you hopping in for episode 82 today. Like I mentioned, we did have another pop list come out today, and we have videos coming out every day, mainly YouTube shorts. Be sure to check us out on our Instagram and Instagrams, Twitter, and TikToks. We're at Carbonite Convos, Carbonite Collecting, and Fandom Facts. So if you want to stay up to date, more of on a personal day-to-day basis with us and what we have going on, make sure to check
our newly deemed multimedia channel.
Yes, we are now a multimedia channel. So definitely thank you for your support up until this point. And like always, until the next time you're on Carbonite Convos, may the Force be with you.
Remember, the Force will be with you always.